Fala galera, começando mais uma live aqui no canal do MuTTrO. Lembrando que essa live está sendo transmitida simultaneamente no YouTube, youtube.com/MuTTrO e na twitch.tv/MuTTrO. Estou jogando Bastion, essa aqui é a segunda live desse jogo aqui. Para quem não viu a primeira, vai estar lá no YouTube. Então bora lá, mais uma live desse jogo indie que eu estou gostando, curti e vamos continuar então. Beleza, vamos aqui na fortaleza de concreto, o núcleo detectado. Pena que se encontra profundamente dentro da fortaleza mais difícil da cidade. Eita, poxa. Será que é difícil assim mesmo?
That's Cinder Brick Fort, where the marshals used to watch over the city.
Então vamos lá.
There's only one way to Cinder Brick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky.
Caralho, não tô entendendo o que eu tô levando. Que isso?
They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid.
E aí, Michel, bom dia, mano.
Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort.
Uma arma aqui. Valeu, Michel. Deixa eu... Depois entra aí.
Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. The calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days.
Oxi.
Windbags can't use the marshal supplies, but the kids sure can. As for the windbags, Cinder Brick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame him for wanting it, though. Not a scratch on him as he presses on to higher ground. Kid's got a squirt lure at the ready in case things turn sour.
Ah, caí, mano.
Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. The other big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now. The windbags finally get the message. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Zulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zulf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zulf was his smoking pipe. Can't be too careful these days. Poor kid collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. The past catches up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Ceylondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back. Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. Will have finally arrived at Ceylandia's vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all they got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would.
Caraca, haja inimigo, hein? Teve inimigo pra caralho agora.
Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. The Breakers, ain't no one could outrun them, or their arrows. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this.
Achados perdidos. Templo.
The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again.
Arma de ângulo variados. Efeitos de retirada. Compensa o alcance limitado. Uma versão de produção em massa. Primeira arma de fogo. Caelondia. Dizia-se um verdadeiro terror. Essa solta nuvens de metal recortados. Que isso? Resposta automática. Alferice. Bebida feita para saciar sede. Refinada com espinho de cacto. Rasteiros e falta de etiquetas. Cuspir os espinhos, mais eficaz.
All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new.
100% de dano enquanto enfrenta o escudo Burriets. Os tônicos reabastecem completamente a saúde. Mais 2 capacidade de tônico de saúde. Ó, isso é bom, hein? 25% de dano usando habilidades secretas. Compro tudo logo nessa porra.
We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says.
Tô com a arminha aqui, ó. Será que ela é boa?
Kid's ready to get real personal with hammer and musket in hand. Now, whale ale ain't made from real whale, but it'll make you strong like one. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel.
Martelo. Campo de prova. Vamos testar o campo de prova, galera.
Ever felt a Zolwood gourd? Like picking up broken glass barehanded. At Zolwood Grove, marshals learned to make every shot count. The trick was to pop all those nasty gourds without wasting ammo. Most marshals didn't get far on their first few tries. Had to catch a bunch of those gourds in a single shot. Funny thing about muskets is they work best up close. It took a keen eye, not an itchy trigger finger.
Duas.
Kid takes a little personal time for just him and his favorite musket. Plenty of gourds to go around, even now. Marshals like to fine-tune their muskets to get better results. The orchard grew over so quick, the marshals made it worth clearing out.
Importante isso aqui.
Marshals did more than just stand around shooting, of course. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. Weepin' Nellie. She sends some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. A security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbrick. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. At least she picked a good spot for a break, 'cause the core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. They've been watching his every move. They had their own eyes on the core. But why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Crafty things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming, starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, long as they hit something. The windbags get an even better idea. They aim to smash Weeping Nelly to splinters. Kid boards one of them skiffs like some kind of Ceylondian privateer. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nelly. She's just gotta make one last stop. With her last breath, Nelly gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in Pecker country. They want that core real bad. Seems the calamity ain't hurt the Peckers' appetites. Kid shoos them off, knowing they'll be back. Know how many times Kid nearly fell off the barge back there? A good couple of times. Now, listen close. You sure
E aí, mano, família live. Salve aí, mano. Valeu por comentar.
Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far.
De boa, mano. E tu? Como você achou minha live? Comenta aí pra mim. Como você achou minha live?
The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it?
Eu não divulgo não, só faço por hobby. Quem entrar é lucro. Quero saber como você achou minha live. Comenta aí, por favor. O que você pesquisou? Onde você foi pra achar minha live?
There, the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? Yeah, that's the one.
Valeu, mano. Família Live. Obrigado aí. Ixi, é difícil entrar no canal de live, mano. Eu não divulgo nem o meu, imagina o dos outros. Eu só faço a live e deixo rolar. Minha live tá sendo transmitida na Twitch e no YouTube ao mesmo tempo.
Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
Ah, essa mulher que tava cantando. Olha ela aí. Vamos ver.
They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow or again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. I tried to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right. Except no one else showed up. We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Ceylondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. Kid's surprised when I tell him
Mais
there's only one
templo,
core
galera.
left.
Mais
I shouldn't have
um.
believed it either.
Vamos lá montar ele. Acho que é o último. O templo. O templo para uma instalação cujo ídolos sagrados pode trazer sorte ou azar. Só falta um bom lugar para isso. Se a vontade de Deus é ajudar ou atrapalhar no caminho da calamidade, é uma incógnita. Templo.
Behold, the Pantheon.
Ó, deuses. Ixi, nem deu para ler. Deuses do juramento do abandono. Os inimigos se vingaram no meio da derrota. Não há ninguém ligado à criada a não ser desenham a elas.
A Kobe. The gods never liked competing for people's affections.
Sem grana.
He ain't all that shy. We tracked the final core beyond the city to the wilds.
Ó, abriu mais uma. A periferia selvagem. O núcleo detectado. Uma equipe de expedição ousou para explorar essa terra, mas eles desapareceram.
The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it.
Oxi, pistola dos golems.
Know what's better than having to sling a pistol in a fight?
Caralho, peguei uma pistola, mano. Que louco.
Kid's faster than a slinger with those guns. Savage things lurking at every turn.
Nossa. Que isso, mano?
Pincushions ain't the worst of it either.
Louco. Caralho. Ai, mata uma aí.
Good thing pincushions can't see where they're shooting.
Treco é bruto, mano. Caraca.
Pecker's got the core, like they're building a bastion of their own. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon.
Caralho, mano. Esses bichos são do mal.
They shouldn't have let their guard down.
Ué, mas já?
The core's right there, itching to come home. Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight. Wallflowers survived the calamity. It toughened him up. Same goes for the kid. A handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Kid's seen the last of them. Slinger Jawson's old outpost is all that's left of him. Kid sticks to his old standbys. Don't ever turn your back on a pincushion. Kid's roused up half the wilds by now. Jawson's boys left all kinds of stuff out here. Then Kid gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. The wilds already reclaimed this place. He's anxious to get back. After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot. Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says, but I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone. Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument till I tried to stop him. Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put her back together. The shards. We're gonna need all of them to nurse the Bastion back to health. Come on, give the little tyke a break.
Calma aí, galera. Vou pegar uma água aqui e já volto. Voltei, galera.
The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back. The less said about Drawson Bog, the better. That place will eat your mind. After Zolf's little episode, Kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Drawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad. But the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine. Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating.
Oxe.
Don't know where he's gone. Might be gone for good for all I know. Wherever he is, somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go. There's no way out. The dead welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him good. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella. Kid can't fall, no matter how hard he tries. What do you say to a kid who's seen too much? I'm Zolf of the Ura. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now the kid sees something stranger still. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, vine apples, swamp weeds, ankle gators. Now the Bastion can send them even farther, into the wild unknown. Kid sets foot inside one of Caelondia's famous watering holes. The security's just gonna have to straighten him out. He has the nerve to flash the shield he stole. He's a petty thief. Kid succeeds where the Calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Rondi the bartender? Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull. The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend.
Oosh.
His friend, he's come undone too. He sees what's left undone. Thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to. The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole. Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. Ever heard of a lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say. They say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Well, a kid prunes it down to size somehow. Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it. A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers. That's it. Few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place. Never could ask for a song. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places.
Vamos ver o que tem de novo, galera. Esse aqui é antigo. 100% de chance de ataque crítico. Reduz o dano das quedas. 200% a mais de dano caído sobre o inimigo. 100% de dano quando enfrenta o escudo. Blow Head. Defesa mais 33% mais rápida. Mais 2 capacidade tônico negro. Isso é bom, hein? Resposta automática, eu acho que é isso que está escrito. Eu acho que isso traduziram errado. Resposta automática. Automática. Alferice. Acho que é automática. Sobreviva a um ataque capaz de derrotá-lo. Mais 10% de saúde. Acho que eu vou colocar esse aqui, ó.
Black rye is like hot pineapple chowder on a cold day. Brings back memories. The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan. Rothless Lagoon, even the brushers stopped going there. Didn't like being eaten.
Vamos lá, último mapa aqui para eu
Ankle gators used to roam the
finalizar
wilds,
a live.
and they nested at Rothless Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here. All kinds of beasts what don't know up from down, still lurking about. Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon. They moved quick and quiet.
Ah, que merda, troquei.
Even the brushers learned to fear this place. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne. These beasts, they don't like company. Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. Know what smells worse than an ankle gator's breath? A stinkweed. The lagoon's got plenty of other dangers, of course. Can't fight Queen Anne without the proper tools. The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. They say you can't hurt an ankle gator unless it's raining. And it ain't raining. Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit. Kid's got a mean throwing arm. Those pin cushions been living off the ankle gator's scraps. Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths. Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch. He holds his ground. Seems the Queen's running out of options. Still no sign of the shard. Well, the brusher's way ain't really his style. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kid's gotta make a run for it. Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. Queen's got one mean bite. Queenie must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding. Can't get hasty in a place like this. Ankle gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around. Seems even stinkweeds know to stay away from the queen.
Como mata esse bicho?
Best not to feed the local wildlife. Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. The shard's sitting in plain view. He's got it, and now to finish her off. She's starting to get annoyed. Now he's made her mad. Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushers.
Consegui. Não, vai não.
Kid's done what needed to be done. Queen Anne's reign is over. We even got a crown jewel.
Muito escuro. A claridade lá da janela bate pra cá, aí fica escuro. Se a claridade estivesse na minha frente e viesse pra mim, ia ser perfeito, mas não tem como.
That Gator's a crazy gal, but so's the gal who promised to look after her. Kid takes another drag, goes out like a light.
Entrei no negócio sem querer ali, velho, que eu não queria.
There's something you should know about the kid, but let me take it from the top. The past catches up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. What was that saying? Anyway.
Eu não queria usar essa oportunidade. Queria ir pra base.
Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Ceylondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, kid learned to fend for himself. Learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back. Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. Willie finally arrived at Caelondia's vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all he got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it. Ain't saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city. His bow's looking lean and mean like a prize fighter. Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that. They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't.
Bom, galera, a live vai ficar por aqui. Mais um dia de Bastion, um jogo maneiro. Tô curtindo mais ou menos. Primeira live eu curti mais, agora curti um pouco menos. Mas é isso aí. Espero que tenham gostado. Se curtiu, deixa aqui gostei. Compartilha. E lembrando que é live todos os dias, de manhã e à noite. Talvez, às vezes. E sexta-feira é madrugada toda e sábado também. Certo? Então valeu, obrigado. E até a próxima. Fui!